Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome to the C&J Sports Talk podcast. I'm Jackson.
And I'm Cannon.
And we're here to bring you some heat and to bring you a new perspective on sports. As you guys know, the NBA started last night. It kicked off with the 76ers and the Boston Celtics. After that, the Lakers and the Golden State Warriors kicked off their seasons as well. First of those two games, we're going to start with the Lakers and Golden State. The Golden State Warriors beat them 123-109. So to start this podcast off, my question is, what did we learn?
We learned something that I think we already knew. Lakers can't shoot a three. Lakers cannot shoot a three-pointer if their life depended on it. I'll say, though, I was impressed with Kendrick Nunn. He got 3 of them, I think, and he looked pretty good coming off the bench. Since I said that one, I'll let you come up with another one because I feel like we're going to say some of the same things.
Yeah, we're going to say much of the same. Well, I'll start off with this. Like, they just don't complement each other. Like we talked about it several times, Russell Westbrook does not complement LeBron James. Russell Westbrook, he's not a type of guy, off the ball, like you can just, toss him the ball, and he's not a spot shooter at all. He needs the ball in his hand to be effective, and that's a huge issue. And plus, Patrick Beverley, what is he offensively for us? Like what benefit does he give us? He's a dog on the defensive end, but when it comes to offense, he's not a guy that you can rely on to hit the a consistent three, even though he is percentage-wise, he is like the highest on the Lakers team, but he's not a guy that you think of as a three-point shooter per se, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I like Beverly a lot. Mm-hmm. I am actually glad they did that trade. Mm-hmm. I know we lost THT, and we could have had Lowry instead of Beverly. That hurts, but I think Beverly's that type of attitude we need. We don't have enough tough people.
Yeah.
And I think Beverly fits that mold, and he's not afraid to take those threes even when he's missing, because I think he was like 0 for 4 when I checked.
Yeah, let me clarify. I love having Patrick Beverly on the team. It's not that. It's just from the offense perspective.
He should be on the floor with Russell Westbrook and LeBron James.
Yeah. To me, it's just not huge complimentary in terms of an offensive standpoint. Yeah. Russell Westbrook, as we know, not a good three-point shooter.
And he needs the ball.
He needs the ball. And he's not the guy that you need off. He's not the type of guy that plays well off the ball. As far as Anthony Davis, he looked pretty good last night.
Oh, man. AD looked freaking those fadeaways.
Yeah.
The hands in his face, and he's still swishing them.
Yeah.
AD is back. Let's see if he can stay back. Mm-hmm. Every time I see him on the floor, I get a little nervous. I saw him on the floor third quarter. I'm like, oh, no, don't do it. But I think we can also say LeBron looks as good as ever, too.
Yeah.
I don't know how this man does it.
Nah, LeBron's good. LeBron's great. Obviously,
he's the consistent of the team.
I think his numbers his overall numbers look a little overinflated, and it could be a little bit misleading because when Lakers fell behind, he kind of that's when he kind of took off.
He had to go on LeBron mode.
Yeah, he had to go on LeBron mode, but at that point the game was already decided.
We don't want that. We don't want that team saver though. We want LeBron to be able to play in my opinion, in order for the Lakers to be championship contenders, AD needs to be the alpha.
Yeah, 100%.
We need
100%.
LeBron to be able to rest and to be able to come into the playoffs fresh. LeBron can't be putting up 20, 40-point games. In my opinion, that would be a failure of a season, because if LeBron feels like he needs to get 40-point games, then he's not trusting his teammates. Mm-hmm. But I will say AD looks good. I'm liking Kendrick Nunn. Mm-hmm. I'm liking LeBron. I know Beverly didn't score, but I think he's going to be a good fit. And some of these other players, like Swider, Reeves, they're going to get their act together, because I watched Swider in Summer League. Man, that guy can shoot a 3. Mm-hmm. Reeves can shoot a 3.
What do you think about this Matt Ryan cat that you're talking about? I like his form. I don't know, the way he shot, it kind of reminded me of Ray Allen. His form.
He had a clean shot that I think he stepped out of bounds on the shot. Clean though, clean shot. I think he could be a valuable piece. Mm-hmm. We need those shooters. We need those shooters around LeBron to be able to
be successful.
To be successful. And it's the first game. I'm not going to overblow it. I'm not going to undercut it. I will say, though, that fourth quarter did give me a lot of hope because they played some tough defense, and they almost came back.
Mm-hmm.
It was just Curry just did what he did, and threes are better than twos.
And I think, me personally, you're just not going to beat Golden State at their own game. 40 3-pointers is just way too many 3-pointers.
Yeah.
They shot 10 for 40. And honestly, I believe the only way you can really beat Golden State is by bully ball. You know, you gotta put some shoulders into them. You know, you gotta lean on them, things of that nature. That's because that's the Lakers' strength. You know, they have Anthony Davis, who's the biggest guy on the court. When it comes to Golden State,
7 foot, 6'11"?
Yeah, 6'11". He's the biggest guy on the court. LeBron is bigger than anybody on Golden State.
Got to bully him.
Yeah, you got to bully him.
I think they did a good job, getting in Steph's face, though, because Steph did not shoot a good three-point percentage until the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I have optimism for this team. We'll talk about where I think they stand.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to differ in our assumption of where they're going to stand, which will be fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Any other things you want to talk about with this game?
Nah. We can move on to the 76ers and the Boston Celtics. 76ers, I liked where James Harden was. Like, he had a good first
He had
half.
Step backs.
Yeah. I really like James Harden. I think they're going to be able to compete for sure. And Joel Embiid, he didn't have the greatest start to the season.
He had 31 points.
He did, but in the beginning, in the first half, he was felt like he was kind of anemic. But it's going to be hard. I got Boston ahead of him in terms of later on down the road.
I got Philly.
You got Philly?
I got Philly.
You got Philly ahead of them? Okay, but that remains to be seen. We'll see what happens there. But go ahead.
I really like Philly. I know they lost this game, but Joel Embiid he's the best player out of all those players. Jason Tatum's great, but I think Joel Embiid is top 5 potential. Jason Tatum's in that top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown's near that too. But Joel Embiid is the superstar. He's the MVP candidate.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that needs to show up. And by statistics, they did show up pretty well. Like, the heavy hitters all got their points.
Yeah.
Even Tobias Harris got their points. They just need to slow down, calm down, shoot correct shots. And really, I believe this season, how James Harden performs in the playoffs is going to be how far they go.
Mm-hmm.
If James Harden can get rid of those playoff woes and he can be a good contributor, the superstar he should be, I think the Sixers could be a favorite for the championship.
Yeah, I mean, they can definitely compete. I have a few, which we're going to talk about later. I have a few teams ahead of them right now. But they definitely have a shot. If James Harden is looking like a resemblance of what he looked like in the past, like what we know that he can play, they're definitely going to be a tough out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Would anyone add to that? Go ahead.
Yeah. The reason I believe that they can be ahead of Boston is I just think their star power is greater. Full forces. I think James Harden is pretty close to at least Jaylen Brown, if not Jason Tatum, when he's going all out. And he does look a lot skinnier. He looks like he's really trying to care for his body at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, there has to be a point where something has to give. James Harden's going to have to take his career seriously at some point, which now he's in the place he wants to be. I don't want to hear any more excuses. You picked this place after you picked Brooklyn. This is the place you truly wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see it happen. These Sixer fans have been waiting for a long time to have a championship contender that doesn't screw up in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Sixers have like Dallas Cowboy screwing up in the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt a few years ago with Kawhi.
They should have won that series for sure.
Yeah.
It was like, it's amazing how different Ben Simmons' career could have looked if Kawhi didn't make that shot. Because I think the Sixers were definitely the better team on the floor.
Yeah, for sure. So, but that leads us to playoff seeding. So, who do we think is the favorites? Who you got?
So, do we want to start with the Eastern Conference or the Western Conference?
We can start with East.
All right, let's start with the East. Okay, so let's both give our ones, and then we'll give our twos and our threes and our fours. So we'll kind of go together to see how they're different and how they're the same. I think the number 1 seed this year is going to be, surprise, the Bucks.
Okay.
I think Giannis is the best player in the game right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's the most athletic. He just dominates with athleticism. Who cares if you don't have a three-point shot? He can get around everybody. He's tall. He's freaky. And they got a really good supporting cast around him.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Bucks are going to be the number 1 seed this year.
I actually agree with that. I got the Bucks as the number 1 seed. I mean, there's really not much to add to that. They have the best player in the game right now, and Middleton is a great complementary player.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't get hurt.
Yeah, let's hope he doesn't get hurt. Yeah, I got the Bucks number 1.
They almost made the finals with Middleton hurt.
Yeah.
And that just shows Giannis' star power.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the dynamic of these NBA teams, it tends to be it's like you need 2 stars to win a title at this point. But I think Giannis can make it to where a star and a half a star could win.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not necessarily saying they're going to win, but I think they're going to be the first seed.
Yeah.
All right, who do you have for the 2nd seed?
I got Boston Celtics as number
Boston.
2 seed. Yeah. They got that experience up under them. And they play throughout the season. Like, they play. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to worry about no drama in the back. Well, I mean,
you don't have to.
But you know what I mean. Like, aside from the Ime Udoka situation, they come to play night in and night out. Boston Celtics, and they got tough defense.
And they're stacked.
They're stacked. You know, they got obviously the boys on the side, Jason Tatum and Brown, Jaylen Brown, and then they got Robin Williams down there in the middle.
I just hope he can stay healthy. It's not looking good right now.
Yeah, it's not. But once he comes back, he plays real hard. Horford still there. I mean, they got some players, and they've been there before.
And they also got Brogdon.
They got Brogdon. Forgot about that. They got Brogdon.
Wow, what a trade!
Yeah,
to get Brogdon, Lakers could have used Brogdon for sure.
Yeah, so I got them at number 2.
For me, I have, looking down at my list, it's really tough. It was between the Sixers and the Celtics. I'm gonna go with the Sixers as the number 2 seed. I just think the Sixers have more talent. Mm-hmm. I know that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are stars, but the 4th best player on the Sixers is Tobias Harris, who could be a 3rd or 2nd best player. And then not to mention Shake Milton. That dude's a baller.
Yeah.
And then, no, they traded Seth Curry. To the Nets. They got a lot of depth. They look good, and I think Embiid is at least the 2nd or 3rd best player in the NBA right now. Mm-hmm. And if the Sixers do well, I'm calling my shot. I think he's going to be the MVP this year.
Mm-hmm.
He probably should have won it. One of those 2 years Jokic won it, but
I think he should have won last year.
Yeah, but I think he's going to be the MVP candidate.
Okay.
So we talked about our 2nd seeds. I guess I'll go with my 3rd seed. I'm going to go with the Celtics for the 3rd seed.
Mm-hmm.
Celtics have too much talent to not be in consideration for the 3rd seed, even with the turmoil. I really think that determining factor between the Sixers and the Celtics for me was that turmoil. I really liked their coach last year. I don't know how this new guy's going to do. But Celtics are in a class of consistency lately. It's just like, can they get it done?
Yeah.
Can Tatum get it done? Because I was talking about this last year with the Warriors. That's why I picked the Warriors to win. Because I'm like, I think Tatum's going to collapse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny. Jaylen Brown was the best player in that series for the Celtics. They're not going to win if Jaylen Brown's their best player. They're going to win if Jason Tatum's their best player.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying Jaylen Brown's a scrub. I think Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are pretty close. But Jason Tatum's supposed to be that guy.
Yeah.
We can't get it twisted.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
All right, who was your 3rd?
My 3rd, I'm going to go with the Philadelphia 76ers.
So we're just back.
Yeah.
We're just switching right now.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Sixers. I think we do have to question like health. James Harden has been hurt here and there, and as far as same thing with Joel Embiid. But I think they have talent to be like the first seed and things of that nature. But consistency is kind of an issue with the 76ers.
Yeah, that's what stopped me from
Yeah.
them being my first seed. Is if I knew James Harden was going to be night in, night out,
Yeah.
they could definitely be the first seed.
They can 100% be the first seed. But not that being a question mark is giving me a reason to put them at third seed, which is still obviously really, really good.
Really
Puts
good.
you in a good position to win.
Especially in this East.
Yeah, but that's a testament to their talent, right?
All right. I feel like we're going to have the same fourth
Yeah,
seed.
me too.
What's your fourth seed?
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we said Brooklyn. The Nets are definitely my fourth seed. And that's just because I don't know.
Yep.
Kyrie's back. Durant's back. And I'm going to mark it here as Simmons is going to be an all-star this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm throwing it out there. That's my hot take is Simmons is going to be an all-star. He's too good at passing, too good at rebounding, too good at everything except scoring.
Yeah.
But you don't need to be a good scorer when you have two of the best scorers in the league. It's like Draymond Green.
Mm-hmm.
Draymond Green can't score, but he's still so valuable because of his defense and his passing. And Ben Simmons is better than Draymond Green in this part of his career. Defensive Player of the Year potential.
Yeah. No.
8+ assist
no,
potential.
I 100% agree. The reason why I put him at fourth seed has nothing to do with basketball.
It's drama.
It's just drama.
Yeah.
It's stuff that's going on the outside. That's the only reason why I even have him on the fourth seed. Basketball-wise, if I knew 100% that they were all in and there was no BS going on the outside, I'd put him number one seed because
Kevin Durant,
Kyrie Irving, and then Ben Simmons, who defensively, Cannon was just saying, he's a great defender. And he doesn't need to score. He has Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
He's
I think
perfect for this
he's
team.
perfect. He's perfect. And then let's not forget about Curry. They got Curry out there.
I think Curry's a little hurt.
Yeah.
I know Joe Harris is hurt too. So.
Yeah, but they'll be back.
Yeah,
they'll be
hopefully.
back. So they have a look. They can go to the championship if they're 100% all in. They should go to the championship if they're 100% all in. They will go to the championship. But that's a question mark. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I really like Kevin Durant. I want him to prove himself.
Yep.
Because he went to Golden State, which was a really weak move, but Golden State wouldn't have won without him. That's a conversation for another time.
Yeah.
But Kyrie Irving, gosh, people sleep on Kyrie. That dude is that dude's easy top 10.
I don't think people sleep on him. I really don't. People think I just think it's the outside drama.
I think it's the Facebook comment warriors then, because I always see how people are like, oh yeah, Chris Paul's better than him. Oh yeah, this guy's better than him. I'm like, honestly, the only person I think you could definitively point guard. I think one of the only point guards, unless if you count Luka, that you could say is definitively better than him is Curry.
I think Chris Paul is a better point guard. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, he plays the position better.
Yeah, he plays the position better.
But would you rather have Kyrie or Chris Paul?
I'd take Chris Paul.
Ooh, I'd take Kyrie.
I'd take Chris Paul because he's a better point guard, and he's more in terms of. I feel like he wants it more than Kyrie, in terms of wanting to win. Like Kyrie, I feel like he does want to win, but he's so distracted by other stuff. I feel like he's not 100% in. I feel with Chris Paul, I know with Chris Paul, he's 100% in.
Until he has his 90% chance of getting hurt.
Well, Kyrie gets hurt too. And that's another thing we have to worry about with Kyrie. That's the reason why they lost against Milwaukee 2 years ago in the playoffs, because he twisted his ankle.
And James Harden went out too, right?
James Harden was 50% that series.
And then Kevin Durant was a toe away from oh my gosh, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
For sure.
No, I think the Nets have the second highest one seed potential if everything works out. Because the reason it didn't work in Philly with Ben Simmons, going back to that, the stars were not properly together. It's like with Westbrook and LeBron. It's like Simmons needs somebody who can score outside because Simmons wants to be inside.
Mm-hmm.
So Embiid and Simmons is one of the worst pairings you can have.
Yeah, for sure.
So I honestly think the Brooklyn trade, especially now, is a total win-win.
Yeah.
It's like Sixers get a perfect match and the Nets get a perfect match.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping I'm not eating my words with Ben Simmons because I really think he's something special.
Mm-hmm.
And just because of that one Hawks playoff series, people sleep on him way too much. Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
I mean, well, people had reason to sleep on him.
Oh.
Like, don't like, but I think he having that year off and hopefully he's 100% healthy. Like, no, yeah, he should be an impactful player for sure.
Absolutely. All right, let's go with our 5th seed. So just to recap, I have Bucks, Sixers, Celtics, Nets, and then you have Jamal or Jackson.
I have Bucks, Celtics, Sixers, Nets.
I'm gonna go with the Heat.
Ooh.
I'm going with Miami. People do this every single year. Oh, Miami's talent's not that good. Let's cast them out. And what do? First seed, second seed, third seed. Miami is so well coached. It's a shame Spoelstra doesn't have Coach of the Year.
Yeah.
A shame. Because Spoelstra is a dang good coach. Let's be honest. Jimmy Butler, top 20 player, maybe approaching 15.
Mm-hmm.
But Tyler Hero,
Yeah.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle Lowry, a bit past his prime.
Mm-hmm.
He's not looking as good as he was. And then they have Bam. It's
Yep,
like they got
Bam.
Jimmy and Bam, 2 top 25 players.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still consistently first seed. And they were one game away from an NBA Finals.
Yeah.
One
One game.
It's
One
because
game.
of how well coached they are, and they always seem to find somebody good. Me putting them at the 5th seed is an insult to them.
That's why I'm about to actually switch up. I hate to do this. I'm going to put, instead of having the Brooklyn Nets the 4th seed, I'm going to have the Heat in the 4th seed. And then I'm going to put Brooklyn, bump them back to the 5th seed. Okay, because I feel like the Heat, they're just all in.
Yeah.
They're all in, and they play hard, and they've been there. Okay, and I think they're a well-rounded team. Basically just summarizing what Cannon was just saying. So I think they are in the playoffs, or excuse me, I think in the regular season they're gonna outdo Brooklyn, just because they're 100% in. So I got them actually in the 4th seed, and then I'm gonna bump Brooklyn back to the 5th seed.
Yeah. My reason for keeping the way I did is potential.
Yeah.
I think Brooklyn has more potential to be the 1st seed than the Heat do. But it just shows this Eastern Conference is good. I think I can definitively say the first time in my life the Eastern Conference might be better than the Western Conference.
I don't know. That's tough. Western's still stacked.
West is stacked, but I just having the Heat as a 5th seed for me, I was like, that's crazy, because what would the 5th seed be in the Western Conference? We'll get to that.
I will say the East is probably a little bit more top heavy. You know what I mean?
I mean, the next team I'm going to go over, I think definitively it has a good chance too.
Yeah.
Going on to that is the Raptors are my 6th seed. That one might be a surprise to some people. I think the Raptors are real. They have so much talent on that team. So much talent. Siakam gets his act together. They got OG. They got Gary Trent, right? Gary Trent's there. And then they got that rookie. I forget his name. But that rookie, he's really good. I don't think is it Scotty Barnes, or is that
was that? Not 100% sure.
Yeah, go ahead and look that up for a second.
Yeah.
I think it's Scotty Barnes. I think that's who it is. But they got a solid team. They got a good defensive team. They got a big team. Oh yeah, and then how could I forget about Fred VanVleet?
Yeah, I was about to mention him. Go ahead.
That dude's good. I think this Raptors team is super talented. They just had a bad start off to the year.
Yeah, Scott Barnes.
Okay, it was Scotty Barnes. Yeah, there's a guy in Chicago that's pretty good too, and I think he has a similar name. Raptors. Yeah, pencil him in for the 6th seed. And who did you have?
I think, let's see, depending on Lonzo Ball. I'm trying to see, how long is Lonzo Ball out?
I think it's maybe a month or two.
So I'm going to go with the Chicago Bulls. Because I love Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, he's a baller.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's a baller. And then they have DeMar DeRozan, who has, I personally, top 3 mid-range game.
I think he's the best mid-range
Yeah,
shooter.
yeah, he might be the best mid-range shooter. So
too bad that's the most inefficient according to analytics, right?
yeah, right. But yeah, like they have DeMar DeRozan and then Lonzo Ball, who I think is underrated and he has improved. But
Lonzo's amazing.
Yeah, I know his health is a question mark, but he's improved as a 3-point shooter. He's a really, really good defender. He's a great playmaker.
He's actually a pretty good 3-point shooter.
Yeah,
right
he's pretty good. He's gotten so much better in that department. So yeah, I'm going Chicago Bulls.
Chicago Bulls. Yep. You'll be surprised to know they did not make my top 8.
Ooh. Okay.
Number 7. I really had a toss up between two of these teams. Super big potential. They're my 7 and 8 are my potential teams. I'm going to go with 7 as the Cavaliers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Evan Mobley, baller. Donovan Mitchell, baller. Darius Garland, baller. I don't know where they're going to get... Well, Evan Mobley's the defensive stopper. Man, this team screams offense. Like, I will say, though, is Sexton, he is so underrated.
Yeah.
Like, he probably has the most underrated 24-point season because he wasn't just a chucker. He actually had some good efficiency, and people just forget about him. I'm like, man, I believe he went to Utah in the Mitchell trade. Man, Utah got themselves a gem. But I do think Mitchell brings an attitude to your team. He's athletic. He can score with the best of them. And Mitchell's really the reason why I have the Cavs at 7 because I probably still would have had the Cavs at least in play-in consideration, even without Mitchell, even if it was Sexton and Garland. And they got a pretty good bench too.
Yeah.
Jared Allen. How can I forget about Jared Allen? That dude's good too. They're tall and they got the scoring. Like, their 2 defensive deficiencies are covered up because they got not even the Twin Towers, the Trio Towers, the Triplet Towers, whatever you want to call it. They are stacked.
Yeah. So we are at. Go ahead. I mean.
Yeah, they're my 7. Who's your 7?
My 7. I'm going with the Raptors.
All right.
I like Van Fleet. I can't say his
Van
name.
Vliet. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say his name. He's a really, really good player. And Pascal Siakam. You know, and those are veterans. They've been in the finals. They won a championship, right? So they're ballers, and they're going to keep Toronto afloat. They're going to make them competitive for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, you want to go to your number 8?
Number 8, I'm going to go with the Cavaliers as well.
All right.
Basically, just to go based on what you were saying, they have an offensive. Donovan Mitchell, he's a huge boost to him. He's been there. He's been in the playoffs. They're going to be a tough out. They're definitely going to be a tough out. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what's funny is they were like the 4th seed at one point without Mitchell. So we might both be undervaluing the Cavs.
Yeah.
Like, they could easily, maybe the Heat slow down a bit. Maybe they get to the 5th seed. Maybe the Nets collapse.
Yeah.
I don't know. This Cavs team seems really special right now.
There's a lot of maybes there, though.
Well, that's why I have them at 7.
Yeah.
Number 8. I got so many to choose from. I could choose the Bulls. I could choose the Hornets. I could choose the Knicks. I'm going to go with the Hawks. Go Hawks.
Oh, yeah. I have a Hawks in a play-in.
Yeah, go Hawks. You know, as famous philosopher Russell Wilson once said many times.
Yeah.
Trae Young, one of my favorite players to watch. And they got DeJounte Murray. They got him. They still have Clint Capella.
Yeah.
They still have, their power forward. John Collins.
Yep.
They still got John. Like, this team is good. I think the reason why they're so low is because the East got much
strong.
better. The East is strong, and that's what I'm saying. It's this Hawks team I think is good. And they're still the 8th seed for me. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, I think this Hawks team, they're so volatile. I think they're either going to be, I have them at 8 because I think they could be at 4
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
they could be at 12.
Yeah.
It just really depends on how Trae Young and everybody fits around him. And hopefully DeAndre Hunter can stay healthy because he is really good too. In fact, he was one of the players I wanted the Lakers to pick up when we had that pick, but we got AD out of it, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
AD got picked up out of that, so I'm okay.
Did
And you already said your 8th seed, right?
Yeah. You want to switch over to the West Conference?
We were going to talk. Were we going to say our 2 play-in teams?
Oh yeah, playing. So I got the Hawks in playing. I don't dispute anything really what he says about the Hawks. The thing is, I just think the other teams are just flat out better than the Hawks. And I think Trae Young, even though he is a baller, he's a liability defensively. Like, I mean, he's just small. He's tiny, right? And if you have somebody like Lonzo Ball, if he has to defend anybody like Lonzo Ball or any of the other point guards, he ain't guarding Kyrie. Ain't nobody guarding Kyrie.
They have to hide him like they do Curry.
Yeah. So I mean, I just think that there's some issues there. They'll be competitive, but I have them reaching the play-in.
Yeah, I had a couple teams I thought about. I thought about the Knicks. Thought about the Hornets. I'm not sure about the Hornets.
Mm-hmm.
I think my first play-in slot, just because they did have that good start to last year when people were healthy, is the Bulls.
Yeah.
I'm going to have the Bulls there. The reason why I don't have them in the playoffs, like I have them in the play-in, I just don't really trust their offense that much.
Yeah.
Vucevic does not look the same, and that could be good player on bad team when he was on the Magic.
Mm-hmm.
Vucevic does not look as dominant as he did on the Magic. Zach LaVine. He is that star, but I don't know who the other star is, and I know you could say DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
I think DeRozan had a historically great year last year, and they still didn't do what they could do.
Well, they lost Ball. They
lost Ball and Caruso, but the thing is, they get hurt.
Yeah.
They get hurt a lot. And I'm going to go with what I saw is I don't think the DeRozan-Levine game is going to translate into wins as much as other games because it's inefficient scoring.
Yeah.
Mid-range is the most inefficient shot in the NBA right now. DeRozan's a master, which is why it's efficient for him. But I'm banking on this is going to be the year that his stats fall down a little bit because it's just he's too good from there for me to think that he can continue what he did last year.
Yeah.
All right, so that was my plan was the Bulls, and then I have one more, but you have one more as well, right?
Looking down here, gosh, who else is there? So we have the Knicks. What are some of the additions that the Knicks made?
They got Brunson. They got a bunch of B-rate players for A-rate money. That's the Knicks, though. Nobody
it's
wants to go
tough
there.
because it's like it could be so interchangeable. This I'm not even sure who I got.
Yeah, I don't have the Knicks there.
You don't have the Knicks there?
No.
Who do you got? Who'd you pick?
Who do I got? This one's gonna sound crazy. I almost picked the Magic. I think the Magic have a really.
It's not crazy because it's like this is towards the end of the. That's why it's so tough. These teams are like.
But I still have the Hornets off.
Yeah.
That's the tough part. Is I'm gonna go Hornets because Hornets have shown me. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Magic were the 8th or the 9th or 10th seed because they got a lot of talent on that team.
I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't pay close attention to the Magic or the Hornets. I really don't. So I guess I could just make a guess and just say the Hornets. They're not team.
Oh, you already have the Hornets on there, though.
Did I? I didn't pick the Hornets.
I thought you had the Hornets
No.
on your.
I didn't pick the Hornets, no. But like I don't pay attention to them. It's the Hornets and the Magic. So I guess I'm gonna just like toss that in there. Okay, we'll go with the Hornets, but it's the play-in. So
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the Western Conference. This one's a little more interesting because I feel like they're actually both really interesting because I feel like the talent in the NBA is spreading out to more teams. And this year's really awesome because we really don't know who's going to win.
Yeah.
I mean, Warriors seem to have the best chances, but I don't really think they're gonna, get the second one in a row. I don't know who is going to, but this is a good time. It's not Cavs Warriors for what, 5 years in a row, 4 years in a row.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Yeah.
That was so rough.
Yeah.
So go ahead and talk about who you think your first seed's going to be.
My first seed, I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with the Denver. No. I'm going to go with the Warriors. I'm going to take a guess. I just got to go with the Warriors. They're the team to beat right now.
Man, I thought you were about to.
No, I'm going to go with the Warriors. I think Steph is going to be in the running for MVP this year. He's top 3 player in the league. Would you say? Yeah, I'll give him that. He just come off the championship.
How could we not?
Yeah, he's a top 3 player. Klay Thompson is 100%. He's fully back.
People are sleeping on him now.
Klay Thompson.
You see his 2K rating?
Yeah, I didn't see that. Well,
he had like an 88 3-point shot.
Oh, yeah. No.
I don't give I don't give anything about 2K ratings. But I will say that they're there for attraction. They're there for attention because how do you give Klay Thompson probably the second best shooter in the NBA and like an 88 or an 89? Like, that's ridiculous.
I will go with Golden State number 1 because of that. I think Klay Thompson is 100% back now. Jordan Poole, he's balling. He's a great player. They're just the best team in the West right now.
They definitely have the talent, and I'm not going to argue with you. I'm going Warriors as the first seed too. I don't see a clear-cut first seed, but I do see somebody challenging them.
Oh, of course, you're going to challenge.
My number 2 seed is going to be the Denver Nuggets.
Yep. Dang, I was hoping you're going with somebody different.
The best. So this is the part that's crazy is the Nuggets looked like the best team in the NBA for that 20-game span that Aaron Gordon joined the team and Jamal Murray was healthy. And then after Jamal Murray tore his after Jamal Murray went out with the season-ending injury, they went back down to normal. I think this Nuggets team is one of the deepest teams, one of the most talented teams. They got an MVP. They got the top 5, top 10 player. And they got the top 15 player. Because if Jamal Murray can come back the way he's supposed to, that dude could be top 15. Probably top 20, but he could be top 15.
Yeah.
And then Aaron Gordon, super good. Solid. Top 50 player maybe. And the team just plays really well together. And Jokic kind of counts as multiple players because he makes his teammates a lot better. So I'm going to go with the Nuggets as the second seed, and I think they could win the first seed.
Yeah. I have nothing to add there. Denver Nuggets, number 2.
Denver Nuggets, number 2. All right. Who is your third seed?
Number 3, I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. I'll go with the Phoenix Suns because Chris Paul is still one of the best point guards in the league. Devin Booker is a baller, just
top
to say
15.
the least. Yeah, top 15 to say the least. And they've been there before. I think they have all the core guys there. I got Phoenix at number 3.
All right, very nice. It's hard for me because the cracks are showing in Phoenix. I think this is where they're going to fall off. Not like fall off, but go from the number 1 seed down to the 3, down to the 6. It's just, you can see cracks. You can see cracks for sure. I'm going with the Clippers as the 3 seed. You need two top players usually to be a championship contender. Kawhi, when healthy, top 5. My projections are Kawhi's going to be healthy and Paul George is going to be healthy. Paul George, when healthy, top 12. I mean, people sleep on Paul George. Jason Tatum and Paul George, I think they're pretty close.
Yeah.
I think they're pretty close, and people like to clown on Paul George because of the choking. But what did Jason Tatum just do in the NBA Finals? He choked. They should have won that series. I know we're not talking about Tatum. Let's go back to Clippers.
Mm-hmm.
Clippers are deep. They got John Wall. They got Norman Powell.
Mm-hmm.
They got Zubac.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, because if there's any team I dislike, it's the Clippers. They need to go get their own stadium. They need to go get their own stuff. Stop hanging stuff over our championship banners. Yeah. But I can't deny talent when talent's there. Clippers are potentially the number 1 seed.
Yeah. I was really thinking about having the Clippers at 2 seed, but I put them at 4th. Not because of basketball reasons per se, because they have a reputation. Yeah, they have a reputation for load management and things of that nature. So that being a question mark, that's why I pushed them at my 4th seed. And plus Kawhi. I mean, Kawhi's going to be Kawhi, but he might. He's injury prone. He can get injured, and it's a current concern for mine. I think when it comes to the playoffs, I think I might. Or I think I might put them in, pick them to go to the finals, but I haven't made my decision yet. But yeah, I have them at my 4th seed because of load management and injuries.
Yeah, no. I think this is the year where they're gonna know I need to get my stuff together. They need to get their stuff together. They are a disgrace to the NBA. They are failures. They need to show that they're not failures. The Clippers are cursed. They're cursed. And I think they're not going to win anything until they leave LA. The Lakers' shadow is too big. Even when the Lakers aren't good, their shadow is too big. They need to go to Seattle and win a championship, and then I won't dislike them as much. I think they have 1st seed potential. I think they could win the finals. If they weren't the Clippers, I would say they're the favorite to win the finals. But like I said, they're cursed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to my 4th seed, which is the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
I think Booker's a little overhyped. He's not as good as people think he is. Oh, he got a 70-point game. Oh yeah, that's because they artificially created that 70-point game. It was more of a 60-point game, which don't get me wrong, really good. But I think that 70 mark is overblown because they were fouling to give him shots. Yeah. Chris Paul, I love Chris Paul. You love him if you like him. You hate him if he's not on your team. I did not like him when he played the Lakers in that Sun series. But what I will say is I think he's going to get hurt again. He gets hurt every single year, and he's getting older and older and older. They need to have him playing 24 minutes a night and unleash him in the playoffs. If they're smart, that's what they're going to do. And then DeAndre Ayton, he's really good, but is he a max player? I don't know. I don't know if he is. Maybe that's just me talking because you know who else was in that draft? You had Trae Young. You had Luka, who we haven't even gotten to yet.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. Players want to leave. What's going on? And then they have a bunch of drama with their ownership. This is the year they're going to start falling off. And it could be worse than the 4th seed, but I'm going to give them their respect because they've been there.
Yeah.
All right. My 5th seed is going to be the Mavericks. That one's a bit tough for me.
Yeah, it's tough.
The Mavericks lost a lot of players, but I would say the best player in the NBA, aside from Giannis, is on that team, and I think they could pull it off. Man.
I won't give him a second best player in the league, but go ahead.
I think Doncic is just amazing. He's I'd put him 2nd, maybe 3rd if you give me a really good player. But he's a dark horse MVP candidate for me.
Yeah.
Actually, he's not even dark horse because people are favoring him to get the MVP. But he's so talented.
Yeah.
He beat the Clippers by himself. Like, he almost beat the Clippers by himself. He can win games by himself. He just needs that player. And, this player you might not know too much, Christian Wood, they got a good deal for him. Christian Wood's a 20-point-per-game power forward. They got rid of that dead weight known as Porzingis, and they brought in somebody who I think is better. The only player they lost that I'm really concerned about is Brunson. But I think Brunson was a product of the offense more than a star himself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Brunson got paid because he was by Luka.
Yeah.
And they got a pretty decent team. They just need that shooting. They need people around Luka.
Mm-hmm.
And I have them at the 5th seed purely because of Luka. If it was any other player, I'd probably have them towards the 8th or the play-in.
Yeah.
Who's your 5th seed?
I actually agree with that. The Mavericks. I have Mavericks at the 5th seed. They can very easily be a little lower than, or higher, I guess, in this case. I could see them being a 2 seed, actually. I could definitely see them being a 2 seed. But I got them at 5th because I think the Clippers, Phoenix, Denver, and Warriors, they all have the edge on them. I think they have overall better talent than the Dallas Mavericks. I like Luka. He's a great player. I give him top 8. I'll give him top 8.
No way.
I'll give him top 8.
No way.
I'll give
He
him top
is
8.
so much better than top 8.
Okay, so we got LeBron.
Fair.
We got Kevin Durant.
When healthy, fair.
Giannis.
Yeah, he's my number 1.
I got Giannis. Steph.
I think that's more of a toss.
No, that's not a toss. I'm going with Steph 100% all the way. I'm going with Steph.
That's 50-50 for me.
So who else is who? Joel Embiid. We got Joel.
I think it could be MVP based off of situation. I take Luka over Embiid.
I'm taking Embiid personally. I'm taking Embiid. You can say Joker. You can argue these players are better than him.
No, you could.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you could give him top 8. You can argue that.
You can argue. I think you swayed me to maybe top 4. Maybe top 4.
Okay.
But I think I would take him over Jokic.
Here's the thing. Like, defense. We forget about defense.
Jokic isn't.
I understand, but like, he has what's the word I'm looking for? He can't shift as well as he possibly as he can on defensively 1-on-1, right? It's like he's freaking dragging in mud, So it's like people forget about the defensive side. I mean, yes, he's so great on the offensive side, but that's only half the game, and we can't forget that.
I just think when you're a transcendent talent like that, like Steph. Mm-hmm. Because we're not boasting about Steph's defense. Granted, the thing about Steph is he tries.
Well, the thing is, Steph has championships. He has something to show, something real to show for it. So it's like you can't really get on him about it.
No. I'm more talking about who I think the best players are going to be next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, dude walks into 28 points a game.
Yeah.
Like, when he's out of shape.
Yeah.
I hope he's, buff Luka. We need buff Luka.
Yeah.
Not pudgy Luka.
Yeah. He's arguably, you can put him in that top 3 category.
Can we say you could put him anywhere between 3 and 8?
Yeah.
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 You just have him on the lower end. I have him on the upper end.
Yeah.
But dude's talent's real.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, did you say your 6th seed?
No, I did not say 6th seed. 6th seed, I'm going to go. People are sleeping on Timberwolves, man.
Oh, man. I can't believe. Yeah.
You about to say Timberwolves?
Yeah, I was.
Oh, my gosh. Thanks. Yeah, Timberwolves. That addition of Rudy Gobert.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's another player who is hated for doing his job. Here's the thing. Rudy Gobert is not scoring because the offense was not designed for him to score, not because he can't score. They made it the Donovan Mitchell show. They made it the outside shooting show. And then Gobert, he was getting blamed for defensive things that wasn't even his fault. They were making him guard guys on the perimeter and people were driving in. Gobert is he's probably the best defensive player in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
I think he won't win the award because he's gotten it too many times, and you know how the media is. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jordan should have won MVP almost every year he played, but they gave it to Barkley one year.
Yeah.
They're not going to give him 4. They don't want to make him have almost the most defensive player of the year awards.
Yeah.
But I think he is the best defensive player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
You can't stop him. He cannot. I'm losing my words. he is a defensive force, and he can score too. It's just the offense needs to focus on that. And that T-Wolves team,
Yeah.
they need his scoring. So I think we're going to see like an 18 and 14 kind of year for him. Maybe a 20 and 14 kind of year.
Yeah. It's going to be Minnesota. They should have a good year.
Anthony Edwards. He's establishing himself as maybe a top 20 player by next year.
You're not a huge fan of D'Angelo Russell, but D'Angelo Russell can do some things for you.
Yeah, he can do some things.
Yeah, but I mean, you don't need him to be the primary guy.
No.
So it's like, and that's why I think he fits perfectly well with the Minnesota.
If he gets 14, he's doing his job.
Yeah.
Not for the money he's being paid, but he's doing his job. And then you got Cat. Cat's like top 15 maybe.
Yeah, Cat.
Around there.
Cat, I mean, can shoot on the perimeter. He's just a talented player.
The self-proclaimed greatest big man shooter of all time. Let's see. I think there was somebody else. Maybe on that Mavericks team that we, maybe Dirk. Yeah, I think Cat needs to maybe win a championship before he proclaims himself as the greatest big man shooter of all time.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm clowning him, but he's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure. So we agree with Minnesota at 6.
My 7 is the Grizzlies.
Okay.
You're going to hear a lot in these NBA podcasts is I think Ja Morant is great, but there are so many players better than him. He is a Derrick Rose-like to me, and I don't want to be the one to call this because it's going to make me feel bad when it happens, but the dude plays too violently and he's going to tear something. He lands on one foot. He likes to jump off of one foot too much. He makes too many crazy cuts. That's how Derrick Rose got hurt. It's the way he plays. It's like I have to hear people say, "Oh yeah, Zion's trash. It's all about Ja Morant." I'm like, Zion in his sleep is a better player than Ja Morant. I don't care what people say. You watch Zion, it's like a man amongst boys.
Yeah.
And these boys are 7 feet tall NBA players. I'm giving the Grizzlies the edge over the next team I'm going to pick because I think they have really good depth, and they've proven they can win without Morant.
Yeah.
So even if Morant does have to go out for injuries, I think the Grizzlies will be fine.
I have a feeling we're going to flip-flop because I was going to pick the Pelicans next. Was there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I have the Pelicans as my 7th seed. Zion Williamson, he's going to be a huge boost to them. Hopefully he can stay healthy. He's a superstar. He's amazing. He's
and
great.
He looks cut now.
Yeah, he looks
picture?
cut, in shape, and plus Brandon Ingram, he can give you 20. And then
can we not talk about him? I miss him.
Yeah,
I miss him.
Yeah, and then we got McCollum, who's also a baller who can give you 20 on any given night. I think they are a really dangerous. Yeah, they're a dangerous team for sure. So I'm gonna go with Pelicans 7.
Yeah, I'm going with Pelicans 8. Pelicans could be as high as 5 for me. I just need to see him prove it. I need to see Zion stay healthy. If Zion stays healthy all year, they're the 5th seed. Zion's gonna average 25 and 12.
Yeah.
Brandon Ingram's gonna average 22 and 22 and 8, 22 and 9.
Yeah.
McCollum's gonna average 20 points, but the ball has to go around.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what's good is they all complement each other in different ways. They're not the same player. Ingram is like that Kevin Durant type.
Yep.
Zion is that bruiser. And McCollum is that small guy. That small guy around the perimeter. They have a pretty good mixture of talent. And I'm pretty sure there's other players on that team we're forgetting about.
Yeah. I got to go and check. I'm not 100% sure, but all I know is they have some good primary players that can compete and win you on any given night. So they're extremely dangerous.
Yep.
Who else do we got?
We got the Lakers.
Oh, gosh.
We got the Rockets. No. We got the Thunder. Interesting.
Lakers going to be in playing. I got to go with Lakers.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
They have all the talent. They don't have any of the fit.
Yeah.
They're not cohesive at all.
No.
I wish they would have done that Russell Westbrook trade for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. I think that could have given us that potential, but they didn't want to give up 2 picks. I get it, but I think it would have been the better fit for our team. My other one, this might come as a bit of a surprise. I feel like this Thunder team has something.
Not sure. Don't pay enough close attention to the Thunder Army these days. I mean,
Well, they got Shea.
mm-hmm,
They got Giddey.
mm-hmm.
It's a shame though. Chet's going to be out.
He's going to be out
for a long
the
time.
whole year. They said, right?
But when this Thunder team actually wants to win, they're pretty good. And I think Shea is in that top 15 bubble.
You're going to call me crazy for this?
I probably won't.
Because I get the feeling that you're not as high on this guy as I am, but I'm gonna just go with Portland. Because they got that guy, Damian Lillard. I'm all about Dame time. All about Dame time. He's a superstar.
I agree.
He's just a great player. I think he makes everybody around him better. He's not selfish. And yeah, he's one of the best players in the league. To me personally, he's top 15 when he's healthy.
He could be. Yeah, he could even be in that top 12
conversation. Top 15, top 12. Hell, if he blows up and have a year, he'd be top 10 mentioned. He can easily be in the top 10.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go with the Portland Trail Blazers. I think he's going to have a comeback year.
I just don't think they have the talent.
Yeah.
Like, I like Nurkic a lot. But other than that, who do they have?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have much. This is me being a fanboy of Damian Lillard, for sure. I don't want to ever count him out. I feel like he is good enough to get his team into a play-in.
I think another team, though, is the Kings.
Yeah.
But Kings are going to Kings, so I don't want to put my name on the Kings doing anything. But De'Aaron Fox is really good, and they got Sabonis.
Mm-hmm.
The Kings decisions are almost as bad as the Lakers' decisions.
Gotcha.
How are you going to trade Tyrese?
Yeah.
I probably would have traded Fox.
Yeah.
Because I think Tyrese, while not as good as Fox could have gotten you more assets, and Tyrese is easier to build around.
Mm-hmm.
He can shoot the ball.
Mm-hmm.
All right, awesome. So we talked about who we think has a possibility of going into the playoffs and who are going to be in the play-in tournament. So right now I have Cavs against Hornets, Hawks against Bulls, and Grizzlies against the Thunder, and Pelicans against the Lakers.
Sweet.
And the Pelicans and the Lakers is something that is really interesting because of all the trades they've done together.
Yeah.
I mean, even Randall went to the Pelicans like the year he left the Lakers.
Mm-hmm. Who's actually, I mean, last year he didn't have the greatest year, but the year before he was balling. He was a potential MVP candidate 2 years ago.
I have to vent about something.
Well,
this is what I vent about is people talk about what the Lakers lost. I don't think the Lakers lost anything.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you're basing off Lakers' potential. Brandon Ingram, he's a great player. He's the one that panned out. Randall, empty calories on a bad team. He scored you a lot of points on a bad team. He had a statistical anomaly great year. One. In my book, he is in the 30s.
Mm-hmm.
Randall had one really good year where he was on fire. If he can replicate that, cool. I'll eat my words. I'll put him in like top 25.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm not mad we lost, Randall or anything, but I'm just speaking on, he can do some good things for you. I mean, he led them to a playoffs 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That year that he had an improbable high amount of threes, and he was making a ridiculous mid-range on a clip, which is what I was talking about with DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
The only difference is DeRozan does it consistently. And then D'Angelo Russell, he had a slightly good playoff run.
Yeah.
And what the sad part is, people forget that he was relegated to the bench before players got hurt on the Nets.
Yeah.
And he had a good year, don't get me wrong, but really, what has he done?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah, I actually forgot about him at one point.
He's an above-average player at his best.
Yeah.
At his worst, he's an average player. He's not worth the money he's being paid. And I will say, though, he was the best trade chip. I mean, people thought the Warriors were dumb for getting Wiggins. I said, man, Wiggins not being the first guy, I think it's great. And look at that. Wiggins was probably one of the most important players on that team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, dude learned how to play defense.
Yeah, let's say dude's a defender, man. He could
Yeah.
defend, and he can get you a bucket for sure. He can get you a bucket for sure. So who do you think? Let's segue into this. Who do you think is your MVP favorite?
MVP favorite? I think I said Embiid. I think
You got Embiid?
I think the
Okay.
storyline goes to Embiid. He should have won it at one point, and like I said, I think if the Sixers are that team, he's going to get most of the credit for that.
Gotcha. Okay, I didn't catch that part. Yeah. So, like I mentioned, my favorite. Well, I'm gonna pick Steph Curry. I'm gonna pick Steph Curry as my MVP. I think, but like we said, Luka could very easily win that. I think he's a top 8 player, but MVP they go based on statistics and things of that nature.
Well,
And-
I don't really know what they go by.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah. I mean, just because you win MVP does not mean you're the best player in the league. Like it's just, you
Yeah.
know.
I
But
Yeah, sorry about that. I do know that Jokic isn't going to get it. They're not going to give somebody it 3 times in a row,
Yeah.
especially somebody of Jokic.
so here's a better question: who's the MVP sleeper?
Sleeper? I would have said Luka, but people are really high on Luka.
Yeah, people are high on Luka.
Sleeper.
There's Tatum.
AD.
Okay, it's 8.
AD.
I don't think we'll be in a high enough seed.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Is if the Lakers are going to win, it's because AD is going to average like 25
Yeah.
and 13. If the Lakers get a 5th seed or a 4th seed with AD leading the way, I think he could win MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if LeBron has to go out or Westbrook has to go out. Is I think AD's the best player on that team.
Mm-hmm.
I-
Yeah, 100%.
When healthy. Now, if he can't stay healthy, that's the question.
Yeah.
That's my super sleeper.
I was gonna say Jason Tatum, but we can't forget about Kawhi Leonard. We cannot forget about Kawhi Leonard.
I don't think he's going to win it.
Yeah, but he could be he's a sleep. This is a sleeper though. I'm not saying he is going. I don't think he is going, but he's a sleeper. He's got a whole year off. Okay. We know what he can do defensively. Offensively, he could drop 28 a game. You know, say the Clippers, say that if they don't do load management, I know that's a big if.
That's
I know,
why.
I know that's a big if. But if they come and attempt to play 82 games a year, they're a top 3 seed. Kawhi being the best player on that team, he could definitely win MVP.
I'm not going to deny you, but I think he's going to load manage. I think the Clippers are going to care more about winning a finals than regular season statistics, which is another reason I had them as the 3rd seed.
Mm-hmm.
Is they're in it for the championship. They have been good for what, 15 years?
Yeah.
Has it been that long?
It's been yeah, you're right.
Blake
It's been a while.
Chris Paul.
Yeah.
2000. Wow, it's been like 13 years because it was 2000. What 10?
Mm-hmm.
2010, 2011. It's been 12 years.
Well, I think it was 2011, 2012, 2012.
It's been about 12 years
13,
that they've been better than the Lakers. And Lakers got that chip though, which is why I'm going back to it. This will be my motto: the Clippers are cursed. Jamal thinks the Cowboys are cursed. The Clippers are more cursed. I don't care what anyone says.
I don't think they're cursed. I just think
They're
they are what's the word I'm looking for? They are
cursed.
No, incompetent when it comes to getting a championship. They just find a way to get in their own way.
It's just like they were up 3-1 against the Nuggets, and they blew it. There was no reason for them to blow that. They should have beaten the Lakers the next round and won the championship. Yeah. I thought the Clippers were going to win that year. They're cursed. They made one Western Conference Finals ever.
Okay, so that leads me. Who we got in the finals? What's our finals prediction?
Like the finals?
Yeah.
If they weren't the Clippers, I would have said the Clippers. I'm going to say the Nuggets.
You got the Nuggets in the finals?
Yeah.
Oh,
I do.
Wow. Okay.
Nuggets and Sixers.
Oh, wow. That threw me for a loop. I didn't expect the Nuggets. Okay.
They They looked like the best team in the NBA when everybody was healthy.
You said not. I think you're. Man, look, I don't want to sound disrespectful. I know Jamal Murray is good. He's a good player. But I think he played a little bit too out of his mind when it came to the bubble. I think that was a little misleading.
No, I agree. But I'm talking about next year when they got Aaron Gordon. When Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, Jokic were all playing together, they look like the best team in the NBA.
They're not going to be Golden State. They're not going to be Golden State.
We will see. I have a lot of hopes in them.
I don't think they're better than the Clippers either.
I don't think they're better than the Clippers, but I think they can. But the Clippers are cursed. That is the Clippers are cursed. They're not going to make the finals. I don't care if they're the best team in the NBA.
Hey,
they're not going to make it.
No. So look, same with Denver. When's the Denver made the finals?
The difference is Clippers have expectations.
Yeah, I mean, but Denver. I mean, come on, Denver. They're going to be a tough out. They're probably going to get it like a top 3 seed. I mean, I don't think it's.
You know what's going to be.
They're just not. They're just one of those teams that almost never gets over the hump.
You know what's going to be a lot of fun?
Yeah.
When we're doing this and we get to watch the finals, where it's Denver and the Sixers.
If it's Denver and this, do we have some type? We have a bet? You want to?
We have to decide betting terms later.
Oh, okay.
We can't do that right now off the cuff, but we can figure out a betting chart that we put up there or something, like how many times you're right, how many times I'm right. That sounds like a lot of fun.
For sure. I don't have the Denver. I will go with the Golden State Warriors.
All right.
Oh my gosh. I want to pick the Brooklyn Nets, man. I want to.
Do it.
I want to pick the Brooklyn Nets, man, because on the court, they're it's unstoppable.
How amazing would it be? KD versus Curry.
That should be what I mean, that's what the media should want. They should want Golden State and Brooklyn in the finals because the headlines there will be insane.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm going to go with what my hope is and what my heart says. I'm going to go Golden State Warriors and the Brooklyn Nets.
This is fun. This year's fun because we have completely different answers.
Yeah.
No, that's fantastic. I might be high on Denver, but I honestly think they're that team. I think they're that team.
Yeah. They're a good team for sure.